It's your weekly fix of Fort Wayne FC news, reactions, analysis, the stories that matter. We celebrate the game. We elevate the conversation. This is Fort Wayne Footy.
Welcome, Fort Wayne, to another episode of Fort Wayne Footy. We are excited to be with you tonight because there's a lot of soccer happening, and we get a chance tonight to talk about it. This is my second live show of the night, and I say that not because I'm super excited about that, but because there's a lot of soccer to talk about. And Fort Wayne FC has a match on Wednesday night with forward Madison, and y'all have been asking for crests and colors each and every week. Thought maybe I'd skip it this week, but I didn't. We squeezed one in right before this show. It was live. It's up. It's posted on YouTube. Go check that out with Robert Chappell from 608 Soccer Show up there in Madison, Wisconsin. That'll be up after the show. It's up currently, but we don't want you to turn away from this show to watch that one. So go watch that one when you're done here. I'll stop talking about all of that. I want to introduce the folks on screen with me. My name's Brian, here with Amanda and Sean tonight for this episode. I think it's episode 59 of Fort Wayne Footy.
Crazy.
Not the 260 Soccer Show, Amanda, right?
Yeah. I'm just trying to claim the big boy. Can't blame me, right?
Yeah, I can't blame you. How you doing tonight, Amanda? I know this is your second show in 2 nights. How you feeling?
Yeah, doing well. Just wrapped up our club season, and now it's almost like my brain can shift gears just a bit and have a little extra time to play around with the podcast. So this will be fun.
Yeah. It's good to have you back on the show. I know you filled in a couple weeks ago for someone, and you're back tonight. Yep. And Sean, welcome back to the show, man. I think it's been a few weeks since you've been on. How you doing?
It's been a few weeks, so very excited to be back, doing well. Crazy time in just being a soccer fan and a soccer coach. So excited to have a time where just hanging out with you guys and chatting up about everything that's going on in the soccer world. So
yeah. Now you guys have had, I know we've got World Cup to talk about. We've got Fort Wayne FC to talk about. You guys are just coming off of like cup wins and tryouts and all of that. How's life been in the coaching world for the two of you?
Insane.
I was waiting. I'm like, what is the right word? Yeah, it was crazy. President's Cup regionals, so national qualifier. I call them the grandmas. The U19 ladies and the guys got the 8 a.m. kickoffs. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Let's let the little kids that are up at 6 a.m. bugging their parents anyway take those matches versus my girls who are like downing a Celsius before the match starts, which is not something that I condone. But man, I think I was in bed by 7:30 on Saturday night after all those 8 a.m. starts and tryouts for my crew the week before, or the couple days before that. It was an absolutely insane week of soccer.
Yeah, no, I know there's a lot happening. I know, like, I'm transitioning into high school soccer now. Like, I haven't done a whole lot with our high school team. I'm an assistant coach, and I work full time, and I do podcasting full time, and all of that. But I know our team's been busy, and I know high school soccer's starting up. Amanda, you guys just hosted a show. Maybe we'll talk later on about that a little bit more, about high school summer soccer that's happening out there at Krieger Park. So anybody in the area that's interested in seeing some high school soccer, a little bit different.
62 teams, over 1,200 kids play in that league, which is just in 2 nights. The ladies play on a Tuesday, guys play on Wednesday, and they just smash in a truckload of soccer into like 3 hours of 2 nights.
Yeah, it's a league that I'm not super familiar with, right? I knew some teams played out there at Krieger Park, but didn't know how big this really was. So that is huge. There's a lot happening, man. I mean, we could talk forever about it, but you guys get to do that on the 260 show. So we'll keep our focus tonight on the World Cup and Fort Wayne FC with Michael Rempel, who will be joining us shortly here. Before we get there, though, before we bring him on, it's time for us to talk a little bit about our cheers and jeers of the past week. And Amanda, I want to start with you.
Yeah. So I am cheersing the little guys. If you have been watching the World
hold on.
Cup,
Is that a word?
What?
Cheersing?
For sure.
Look that up. Somebody in the chat, let us know. Is cheers?
Dwayne, help me out. Come on, man.
No. All right, go
Cheersing.
on. I'm sorry.
Cheersing.
Yeah.
How would you say it?
I'm celebrating. I'm giving cheers. I don't know. I've never heard cheersing before. Anyway,
The little guys.
yeah.
Get it, Dwayne. Yes. Back to the little guys, whatever we're doing to celebrate them. So we have Cape Verde. I don't even need to expound upon that one. If you missed it, go and watch it. Talk about an underdog with a phenomenal performance, a keeper that played lights out. And then we have Qatar and Canada, and I might be missing some others, but they actually both came up with their first ever World Cup point. So they both drew. But first ever for Canada and for Qatar, which is absolutely amazing.
Is that right?
I
For
was
Canada?
I
shocked.
find that surprising for Canada.
I found it on 2 sources. So somebody, let's just fact check Amanda tonight and see how this all shakes out. But I did find it on 2 sources because I was like, there's absolutely no way.
Wow.
Maybe it's AI. You know what? I trust very little of what I find on the internet anymore. But
trusted enough to say it here on the show.
yes, and then get chastised for it. So South Korea.
Come on, comments, come through for us tonight, baby.
It's holding his breath over here. South Korea with a win. They're a win in their first ever World Cup appearance. And then this one also, fact check me, go ahead. I do believe I am on good authority to say that only 8 countries have ever won the World Cup. So based on that, I'm calling for an underdog this year. Like the pockets of champions are super tight. The US for one has never won. But I just think it would be an incredible year to see an underdog come up. Oh, there was a new comment, but it was not a fact checker.
Yeah.
Peek over there.
Would be fun, right? Like, the big guys, Spain in a draw with, again, Cape Verde. You've got Germany came through big time. But you've got Brazil struggled in their match, right? Like there's a lot of favorites that are, struggling. France lost to Ivory Coast in a friendly right before the World Cup, right? So whatever that means, take it for what it's worth. But there's been a lot of good matches, and there's one on right now I'm trying not to pay attention to on the screen in front of me.
Well, and by all regards, Ecuador should have at least tied and got scored on in the 90th minute.
Yep.
I mean, anything can happen, and I think we're seeing that this year more than others. My jeers, I'm going to bring back home that Teg did not get Player of the Month. Obviously, we're biased. There was that other guy from Hearts of Pine, and he got it, but Teg had 60% of the fan vote, which either means that Fort Wayne FC's fan club is phenomenal, which we are, and showed up and showed out, or there's also other people throughout the league who are recognizing the work that Teg's putting in, and the results that he's getting. So 7 goals this season as a first-year pro so far, and we're not even at the halfway point, is pretty incredible. And I just really honestly feel like his portfolio as a player deserved Player of the Match, which he did not get. I did look up. Now I'm scared to say stats around you guys. My gosh. I did look up what happened. And so that vote is only partially fan driven. And the other side of it, they actually swung 80% to the guy from Hearts of Pine versus only 20% to Teg. So that's what tipped the scale. And I was like, wow, that feels really harsh. Like that is a big difference, especially when he'd already won the fan vote. So that's my cheers and jeers. Cheersing to all of you.
She was cheersing, but she wasn't jeersing, because that's not a word.
That's
cheersing's not a word, but apparently cheersing is.
Cheersing is.
So I was talking with Justin Cohn earlier this week, and
whoa. Hey, look at this other Burge in the comments backing up his wife. Yes, babe.
Look at that. Great.
Canada has only lost in each of its 2 previous appearances.
Okay. All right. But he doesn't know about cheersing. So there you go.
Except go back to work.
I got to throw that up there. Just
I do
you
love.
got to have
Oh,
that
and
up
look
there.
at our little kids. Those
Um,
boys are now 16 and 17 years old. That makes my mom heart happy.
If you listen to this show and don't watch live, you are missing.
You're missing out.
So much. So
Oh,
much.
for sure. Yeah.
So I was talking to Justin Cohn from the team this week, and he reminded me that Fort Wayne is now 4 for 4 on fan votes when their players were involved in league-wide votes. So, I'd say Fort Wayne's got a fan base that's really growing,
awesome.
and people around the league are taking notice of what's happening here in Fort Wayne.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, that's
Very
good. Good cheersing, good jeersing, Amanda. Sean, do you want to cheers?
I mean, I don't know what else we could cheers about besides the World Cup. I mean, we're talking about the greatest sporting event for our sport that is just eclipses any other, like better than the Champions League, better than the Premier League, better than MLS. There's just something about the World Cup where I remember being a very young boy in 2002 when I think the World Cup was like in Japan or like South Korea, and like waking up at like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but my parents say, oh, USA is playing. And like, that's where the love of the game and everything was born from, was like the World Cup. Right. So the reason that I've played, the reason that I'm coaching is because of the World Cup. So just for it to come back around again, I mean, our lives are busy. We're all parents and we all got careers, but anytime we can catch a game, the game is on, and it doesn't matter what country. Obviously, we're super hyped when America plays. Like, what a performance they put in against Paraguay. Like, probably the best I've ever seen them play, sincerely. But just to watch all the countries and like the national anthems before the game starts, and the stadiums are just filled with like pride and song and love and joy, like chills, goosebumps. I love it. So my wife is Mexican, and so we watch the Mexico games, and they're singing the national anthem, and she's on the couch like singing.
They were
it,
screaming
Oh
the
my
national anthem.
gosh.
Ecuador. I love Latin America.
Yeah, it's just epic. So just we are in soccer bliss, and then I always get like the World Cup blues when it's over. I don't want to talk about it, but we're just in soccer bliss.
We'll
right
wait a month till we bring up that. Sean. So, all right. So World Cup. Cheers to the World Cup. Cheers.
I'm just not able to watch all these games. It just stinks. Like Spain played today. Spain is sick. Like, oh my gosh, I love their style of play, and I can't even watch them play. So just not enough hours in the day, but that's the sad part of it.
Yeah. I'll echo that. I won't steal that as my jeers, but I'll echo that. Like, I got a message about the Spain game, and I was like, oh, I forgot it was even on, because I'm working at my desk, and I was on to some other project and whatnot. But my cheers, I'm going to shout out just the amount of soccer. Like, I'm just going to echo what you said, Sean, and say the same thing. Like, there's so much soccer going on, high school soccer, club soccer still for some teams going on. I saw Fort Wayne United was celebrating some things today, some of their teams. And so shout out there. High school soccer is getting started. There's soccer camp for middle school kids this week here in our local area. There's World Cup. There's Fort Wayne FC. There's all kinds of stuff happening. The only soccer that's taking a break, I think, is Major League Soccer right now. And at least in our country,
they don't have any players.
Because they don't have any players because they're all either watching or playing in the World Cup. So so cheers to so much soccer. Cheers. Sean, I was just going to say what you did, but I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to step on your toes here. I'm going to take it back to our 260 soccer show. Last night there was
I'm taking this personally already.
There was a hydration break mid show that instead of using it for like corporate sponsorships, like maybe other things are happening in the World Cup, they used it to flash a picture of me that was AI generated that just looks awful. And saying, we'll beat in right back. after this hydration break.
Hey, it
And
was better
so-
than the soap we named after you the week before.
It was. That's true. That's true. So Dwayne's on here calling me a bus driver for running over people, right? All the time. And I take it all the time on the 260 Soccer Show, and I don't always get to see it. But what I heard is, Paul has been the one doing a lot of those graphics, and we really appreciate Paul and all he does and his creativity. But Paul wasn't able to join us tonight because he was out at PDA. He had some things going on at Fort Wayne Sport Club, and some of my fans that watch this show, some of our little fans that watch this show, didn't take kindly to Paul out there at Sport Club and let him have it. So if you get a chance to see the show, we got a bunch of like 6-year-olds kicking Paul in the knee. Let me go ahead and take that off the screen. Thanks, Paul, for all you do. Cheers to your video of me. No, that's fun. I can take a joke.
I think some of their feet were dislocated if you looked closely.
You don't look closely. It's not AI, I promise. Those are real kids kicking real Paul in the real knee. And anyway, all right, well, that'll do it for our cheers and jeers. We are going to take a short break here for an ad, and when we come back, we'll have Michael Rempel joining us here on the show. This episode of Fort Wayne Footy is brought to you by Laser X, the Midwest's largest laser tag and arcade. They specialize in birthday parties, corporate team building, youth groups, sports teams, and family entertainment. You can find them at laserxfw.com. That's laser with a Z. And if you get over there, be sure to tell them Fort Wayne Footy sent you. All right. We have a couple comments here before we bring Michael on. Poor Brian, an unflattering photo. I guess you do not like. Do you not read like that? Oh, okay. I did do read like that.
I feel like that photo should go up for those did not catch the show last time.
You got to go back.
And I know you have it.
You got to go back and watch the 260 Soccer Show. That's how you get views, Amanda. Come on.
I know, but it might entice them to see why it was there.
Yeah. Paul says how those darn kids love it. Cheers to 4 quarters. Corporate sponsored hydration breaks interrupting the beautiful game. 2 thumbs down from Christina. Absolutely. We'll talk more about that coming up here in our World Cup conversation here with Michael Rempel. Let's go ahead and bring him on stage. Michael, how are you tonight, man?
Hey guys, I'm doing really good. First of all, Amanda, I need to see the picture of Brian you just mentioned. Or that Brian mentioned before.
Make it happen. I don't have the controls. I can only ask with my voice, but Brian can do it for you.
I will put it up here in a minute because it's in a different studio, but I'll get it while we talk and I'll share it.
There we go.
Well, okay, since our guest asked, I will oblige and I will put it up there here in a few minutes. But Michael, we are glad to have you back on the show. You were here with us preseason. You were still home in Paraguay when you joined us. And so I know we've talked off field, on field, but we haven't had you back on the show quite yet. So there's been a lot that's happened since you publicly joined us here on the show. And we are excited to talk to you about the team, the culture. But we want to start with the World Cup, man, because our team's excited about this. And I know you're somewhat excited about this. We had a rough one this last weekend. So I don't want to throw you under the bus just yet, because that's what Dwayne is waiting for me to do. But tell us about the, what you're seeing in the World Cup. Are you guys watching as a team together? Are you hanging out after practice and catching games? Or are you just waiting to go home and relax and watch some soccer?
So first, I like what Amanda said earlier, that an underdog is going to win the World Cup this year. And I know she meant Paraguay because
For sure.
Argentina, the last World Cup, they started with a game losing as well. And at the end, they won. So I believe Paraguay got it this year. So, but yeah, no.
Did they lose their first game? I don't remember.
Argentina?
I'd have to go back
Paraguay.
and check.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good one. Brian 1, Michael 0. Good one.
No, we had some fun with you. Obviously, pre-game for those that that follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We had some fun, and we did it because we know you're a good sport, man, and so we appreciate you taking that. And I'll tell you what, I thought Anthony called the final score when he says 3-1 until Gio Reyna gets a hold of one in the 96th or 98th minute or whatever it was, that ruined that 3-0 prediction, but. Yeah. So while we're here, let's talk a little bit about that match, right? Didn't go, I don't think, the way anybody expected it to go, quite honestly. There was a 2-1 friendly back in November, I believe it was, that ended in a bit of a scuffle between the US and Paraguay. And so expected a pretty hard-nosed, like CONCACAF-y, like knockdown, drag out, punch each other in the face kind of game. And it really wasn't that. So I didn't expect the US to come out the way they did. I didn't expect Paraguay to come out the way they did. What did you see in that game that surprised you from the get-go?
So first of all, as you said, like I did not see Paraguay playing really well. Paraguay had like a really good end of the qualifiers, the South American qualifiers. They beat teams like Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and stuff. So they were coming really good with this new head coach they have. But yeah, coming into this first World Cup game, I don't know, they were just like, I don't know if it was anxiety or something, because they had quite a few young players that was like their first World Cup and stuff. And so, yeah, their game plan, I think, didn't work out. And so they were just nervous and just kicking the ball away and just losing it and just playing to like defend the whole 90 minutes. And obviously it didn't work out well. So that's how they ended up losing. But I'm confident they have worked on those mistakes and everything, and that they will have a better second game in the World Cup. So
yeah. So there was that first goal. It was an own goal. It came off a deflection, right? Christian Pulisic puts it across, and it comes. It seemed like that just took the air out of their sails. Like anything that they had, it seemed like they just dropped their shoulders from there. As a player in a situation like that, you obviously weren't on that field, but as a player, when things like that happen, how do you fight against that desire to just kind of, well, that didn't go our way, and kind of roll over for the rest of the game? Not that they did, but that's a temptation, right?
Yeah, I mean, like something that has a lot to say in that is like the support from your teammates. I feel like if you get the support from your teammates, they're like supporting you and telling you keep your head up. Or for example, it was in the first few minutes, I think, and like you have another 80 minutes to make up the mistake. And I think that's just like, you gotta forget that and just keep trying again and try to make up the mistake.
Yeah.
If you look at the replay, it almost looks like in his face, he was confident that he had cleared it wide of the post. And then everyone is stunned that it actually goes in the back of the net. But it was just the full stream of play, and he thought he had done exactly what he needed to. And I think that's what really knocked them all down. Was that was an error, but it was an error we were confident we weren't making.
Yeah. Sometimes it just happens so quick, and I don't remember really well the action, but like sometimes even like you're running back to the goal, and then like your steps don't come out, and then you're just kicking the ball, like, and it just goes another direction. So, but yeah,
that's why a ball across the middle, a hard played ball across the middle, is so dangerous, right? When everybody, defenders, attackers, are all running towards the goal, it's hard to spin around and hit the ball wide or hit it out. So I think Christian played really dangerous balls across the middle there. And I don't want to dwell on this particular game too long, Michael, but what did you see in the United States play? Like, we could all go around, the three of us, and go, we've never seen them play like this before. Like, there was something different about the way they played. What did you see in their style of play this time that maybe caught you off guard or surprised you as you watched that match?
Yeah, I had some conversations with my teammates that are like from the US, and they were like saying it was impressive, like how they played. And like other people told me, like, it seemed like they had prime Maradona and Pelé on the team, and they were just playing good. And I think Pulisic had a really good first half, and obviously they took him out second half to like just save him and like rest him and everything. But I feel that our right back, he got a yellow card so early, and I think the team knew they had to play on the right side because the right back could not be aggressive anymore because he was on a yellow. So I feel like they got through a lot on the right side. But yeah, all the credit to the US. They had, I feel like, an amazing game. So yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, the shocking thing, number one, is that until the Germany game, the U.S. was the highest scoring team so far in the World Cup. That never happens. And Fowler and Balogun is in like the lead for Golden Boot right now after a game, like whatever. What does that mean? But to have the United States like in those two categories for anything in a World Cup, even after one game, I was like, okay, all right, let's see what happens here, right? So moving forward, though, there's still 2 games to play in group play. We both face Turkey and we both face Australia. Did you stay up and watch that game the other night? That was a late one. Okay.
No, I didn't, but I was told that obviously Australia won, but I was told Turkey was like really good and they just outplayed Australia. Just they couldn't find the net at the end. So
yeah. What do you think Paraguay's chances are moving forward?
Obviously, I'm hoping they're winning. Obviously, I want them in the US to go through, but I know Turkey is a really tough team. They have some really good players that play at the top level, and so does Paraguay. But yeah, it's totally different sometimes, the game style from European teams than South American teams. So I don't know. There can be things happen, or yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, Paraguay gets at least 4 points out of those 2 games. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah. No, I think they've got good chances, man. I think Paraguay's got a good team. I was shocked again. I think the world was shocked the U.S. played the way they did against a good Paraguay squad. And so best of luck to them moving forward, hopefully taking second in the group. But who knows? The United States could tank the next couple games, and who knows, right? So
can I pop in there, Brian?
Yeah, please do, man. Please do.
Michael, so aside from Paraguay, what are some of your favorite other countries to watch or support? And then do you have any like favorite players maybe within those teams?
So I obviously support all South American countries besides Argentina. We as Paraguayans, we don't like the Argentinians. But so like I just watched the Uruguay game. I enjoyed it. I was like, my best friend is from Uruguay. I met him at college. And I was just like rooting for Uruguay, and I was so happy when they tied. So it was a really good game. I watched Ecuador, which was, in my opinion, one of the best games so far in the World Cup. Like the intensity, the whole 90 minutes, just going back and forth. It was just amazing to watch. But yeah, and then I would say I'm rooting for Portugal because Cristiano Ronaldo is my player, and I cannot see him leaving football without winning a World Cup. So I'm rooting really strong for Portugal.
That would be pretty
if
sweet.
The final came down to Portugal and Paraguay.
You are brutal.
I mean,
I gotta say sorry, Paraguay, but
oh my
Wow.
God.
I gotta give it to my boy.
Oh
I gotta give it to
man,
him.
your brother James is watching tonight. I wonder if he has anything to say about that one.
I think he will support me in that. I think
Okay.
he will support me in that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Or you could say the only reason Cristiano Ronaldo didn't win the World Cup was because Paraguay got in his way. I mean, that's the other way to look at it.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
That could be good too. But
All right, we've got a Miriam Rempel in here saying proud of you, my son.
That's
Okay.
my mom, yeah.
All right. That's awesome. Hi, Mom. How are you? Glad to have you and James joining us. We've got a teammate here, Jack Thomas, saying that Michael should have been called up, playing there on the left side there for Paraguay. Maybe someday, right?
Yes,
There's
sir.
always that hope. James in the chat agreeing. You're right, Jack. And then my favorite so far right now, I think, is from your brother, big brother James. saying head coach made them play football, not soccer. That's why they won. So I love that. There's something that Potch is doing with the team right now that is something special, because we haven't seen that out of this team since he started coaching. And it's like they're finally here, finally playing. And Paraguay's going to win World Cup 2030 from James there. Let's give it to Cristiano Ronaldo this year.
After Ronaldo's out.
Sounds good.
I love it. All right, man. So let's move to some Fort Wayne FC talk. We appreciate you entertaining us with some of the World Cup talk, because there's, that's on everybody's mind front and center right now. But the team you play for, that we all support and cheer for, is Fort Wayne FC. And like I said, we had you on preseason. You hadn't been with the team yet, and we haven't talked to you officially on the show since you've been with the squad. And so tell us a little bit about, your first days with the club, moving up here to the United States, getting in with a new group of guys, a new team, and a stadium that's not quite finished yet. We've talked about, team culture a little bit with some of the other players and teammates that have been on the show here. So what was it like stepping in that first, couple days with the new squad? And then how's the team progressed, and biggest areas of growth that you've seen in the last several months that you've been here?
Yeah, of course. At the beginning, obviously, it was tough. I don't know if you remember, I said the cold is gonna do it hard for me, but
it was a brutal winter.
It was crazy.
Yeah, because you guys were training out at Indiana Tech. Like, they had to shovel the field, I think, right, for you guys to start playing. I forgot that wasn't all that long ago.
Yeah,
I remember they highlighted all your gear, and I was like, "That's not enough. That is not enough clothing for them." Especially Latin America.
It definitely wasn't. It wasn't like my toes were freezing, my fingers were freezing, and like I had gloves on and everything. It was just like way too cold. Yeah, we were training in snow, like it was snowing on us and everything. It was never have done something like that.
And now you can't breathe because it's so humid out there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Welcome to the Midwest, right?
Yeah.
So.
But first day I showed up, it was an early morning. I had to do some physicals and stuff, and that's where I met Thiago. It was his first day too. And then we went over to the locker room, and I met the team. And obviously one of the first guys that I went to is JP, because he was my roommate, or he is my roommate. So I tried to like talk to him and just trying to stay close to him, and like he was helping me out. But then I was making friends with Emmy and Javi because of Spanish speaking and stuff like that. So, but I would say since day one till now, the culture has been growing a lot, and we have just come together so much, and just getting to know each other, and like the connection inside the field and outside the field is just growing every day and every game.
Yeah. So JP's your roommate. So the two of you are locking down the outside of that back line. I love that. That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What's something that you guys have done? I know Coach Avery is big on having the team, engage with one another off the field and get to know each other in different ways. What's something fun that you've done with the guys that's been significant in your opinion on building team culture and building team camaraderie?
I would say, I think Reed mentioned it the last time he was on here as well. It's the travel days we have. Like, you just sit together with the teammates and talk, and like it's on the airplane or on the bus or at the airport or at the hotel. It's just like sometimes you, for example, in the airplane, you sit to a person you don't really talk to too much on practice or something like that, and you just talk to him on the plane and get to know him and stuff. So, but it's definitely that. I would say outside of practice, we haven't done yet like a big team activity, like the whole team, but we have planned some. I don't know when we're gonna do them, but I can't wait for those. So
nice.
It sort of, from a coach's eye, seems like you guys are extremely true to your style of play. Fort Wayne FC plays the way that Fort Wayne FC plays, sort of regardless of opponent. I'm curious, in your training sessions, are you guys simply focused on locking in and honing in on you? Is there talk of this is our upcoming opponent, this is their style, these are their players to watch out for? What does that look like at this level and with this crew that has such a dialed in build from the back possession oriented style of play?
Yeah, obviously we try to focus on us as well, but for example, like getting better as a team and like trying to get better at our game style. But we do a lot of scouting, like our coaches do a lot of scouting from the other teams and like their game style and like how they uh how their goal kick is, how they repress and everything. And based on that, we practice and try to get better at it. So once the game day comes, we're ready to like face every opponent that is gonna try to beat us, because we know we are, I think, 8 games unbeaten now in league, and I know teams are gonna try and get ready as much as possible to take that away from us.
Yeah.
Now,
I
Michael,
think
when you-
Power Poll
oh.
has you guys at like 4th or 5th too. I mean,
Yeah.
you're climbing. Sorry, Sean.
No, Michael, when you talk about how we're getting better and we're growing, can you be a little bit more specific on like in what areas do you really feel like you're making strides as a unit and as a team?
I just feel like the connection inside the field is much better. We know, like, for example, me and my winger, like, we know when we have to switch positions, like, my winger comes down and I make a run in behind. Like, we don't have to talk anymore that much. We just look at each other and then we know, or for example, when I want my winger to run in behind when I have the ball. So, for example, I was talking to one of my teammates, like, I like to play one touch passes into the space. So whenever I get a pass, he just has to run and stuff like that. So just those little communications, just those little talks. It's like just 10 seconds that somebody has to know and take their time and to get to know each other a little bit better. That will help in the game.
Yeah,
For
awesome.
Besides you, who's the best player on the team?
Okay, time out. Michael, one of the things that stands out to me the most about you is you have this crazy quiet humility. You are so humble that I don't even think that thought would ever cross your mind. It might be true.
Which is why I asked.
I don't think that thought would ever cross your mind. You are so stinking humble, and I love it. Your play, on the other hand, is anything but humble. It is super loud. It's super commanding. So important, but that's hilarious that Brian would even throw that out there.
You don't have to answer that, by the way, but I am curious, like, as you see the players around you developing, right? Like, everybody's getting better. The chemistry is getting better on the field. Who's someone maybe that has stepped up in a way that maybe didn't surprise you necessarily, but someone that's really stepped up their level of play since maybe day one that you've seen, that you've been training with?
I would say definitely our 2 strikers, Lillian and Tay. Like, we see it on the field, like how they press high and win the ball back and score. I think I was talking to Tay, and he has like the most recoveries on the final third in the league, and so I think that says a lot. And but yeah, I would definitely call those 2 out, and then also obviously my roommate JP. The aggressiveness he has on defending and fighting for every ball is just like crazy, and I like that for a defender. So yeah.
As we watch JP, right, he has shifted from that 6th position to the outside back position, and just love that the passion that he plays with, right, and the aggressiveness that he plays with. So having the 2 of you on the outside running the show, out there chasing guys down, not letting guys by you, has been a lot of fun. And I know just his style, right, playing on the outside, and then tucking in the midfield, moving forward, has been he's been really versatile this year, more than maybe we anticipated when he started in that center defensive mid position that he was doing. So I think those are all 3 good shouts from what we've seen from the stands, right? You're there day in and day out in training. We'll get into this Westchester match recap. It feels like forever ago because, all the other soccer that's been happening. Want to talk about the Westchester match. We'll preview the 2 upcoming matches here in just a moment, but we do want to take a moment and thank our sponsors, give them some airtime. So we'll be back right after this break.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Dead One Pest Control. If you've been looking for a local pest control service in Fort Wayne and surrounding communities, look no further than Dead One Pest Control. They work with both residential and commercial clients to get rid of all types of pests, including those dreaded bed bugs. No job is too big or small for them to handle, so you can count on their capable crew for whatever local pest control service you need. Reach out today to schedule an appointment at deadonepestcontrol.com. And remember, the only good pest is a dead one. And if you're looking for tree service of any kind, including removal, trimming, stump grinding, or landscaping, check out R&T Tree Experts. Just visit their website, fill out their estimate request form, and be sure to tell them Fort Wayne Footy sent you to receive 10% off your service.
All right. Well, thanks to our sponsors, LaserX, you heard at the top of the show, Dead One Pest, and R&T Tree Experts for being our show sponsors for this show and allowing us to bring you all the coverage that we do here at Fort Wayne Footy. Appreciate all you do in the community and all you do with us to help build the soccer community. And for all of our Footy Faithful Patreon supporters out there, that number is growing each and every week, and we appreciate all that you do to support us in that way. And so thanks for all the support in this area. You heard some stats last week about how much the show has grown in the last couple of years, being ranked in the last year, a couple years. My goodness.
You can't say couple.
No, it's only been a year. We're ranked in the top 100 soccer podcasts in the United States, top 25 and among YouTube top 25%, not top 25, top 25% among YouTube creators under 1,000 subscribers, and we're less than 300. So we're doing some good numbers, and it's all because of all of you. Your support it means a lot to us. And so always want to say thanks here on the show for allowing us to do what we do. Amanda, tell us a little bit about, we'll get into the Westchester match here in a minute. Tell us a little bit about the 260 soccer show that you hosted last night. If people want to go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, Fort Wayne Footy is focused on Fort Wayne FC, and there's so much soccer happening in the 260 that we have a spinoff show. And last night we focused on this high school summer league. Dean Trainer, who runs that league, came on and blew my mind. I grew up playing soccer in Fort Wayne, have coached up through the collegiate level, and I ashamedly did not know that this league existed, nor that it has 1,200 kids playing in it. High school. It's just high school teams.
Right.
I got the schedule in my hands last night. It's Tuesday night for girls, Wednesday night for guys. Go out to Krieger Park, totally free, really fun environment. We focused on that, talked about the cup, and looking forward to nationals coming up here soon. And then this crazy dichotomy of we're still in club season for some teams. High school has started. College coaches are expecting people to be in shape and reporting for preseason. And how in the world do we juggle all this at the same time? So jump over there if you want to hear more details, and then catch us in the original slot for Fort Wayne Footy Sundays at 9 p.m.
There you go. Your team's doing a lot of good work over there. You and Paul and Todd over the 260 soccer show. So keep it up. A lot of good, getting eyes on some good soccer all around the city here. We also did a streamed earlier tonight. I mentioned at the top of the show, a Crest and Colors episode with Robert Chappell up in Madison, Wisconsin. So if you want to get a game preview and hear what's happening with the club, the supporter culture, and just soccer in general in Madison, check that out after tonight's show. And tomorrow we're streaming live for Patreon only live show with Yogi from River City 93, who covers the Richmond Kickers. And that show will be live it'll be up publicly after the live stream. But if you want to join in the comments, join us on Patreon, become one of the Footy Faithful, and we'll send you that link to join over there. All right, let's get back into this conversation with our guest, Mr. Michael Rempel. And I want to start it off getting back into it with a comment or a question that's in our comments. How much of a rivalry do you have with your brother, and who's the better player?
Obviously, when I was younger, he was like my idol. I played with him. He is 3 years older than me, and growing up, I got the chance to play with him together in the same team and several teams, and just enjoyed it. And obviously, sometimes like we both have this like competitiveness, and we both want to win. And so there were moments during the game we fought, and like we were screaming at each other. But at the end of the day, we were brothers, obviously. But yeah, sorry, James, but now I think I'm better. But yeah.
That's what us older brothers are for. Like,
Yeah.
to make our little brothers better than us. Like, that was my goal in life, was to make sure my brother was better than me. Right. And he was. He definitely was.
I bet that was my brother's dream too.
I'm
Definitely,
sure it
yeah.
was. Yeah. I mean, he sends you some hearts here in the chat for sure. So yeah. No, let's get back into some Fort Wayne FC talk. There was a game against Westchester there up in Mount Vernon, New York, ended in a 1-1 draw late in the match with Tag Healy scoring an equalizer late in the match off of a corner off of your foot, I believe. Knocked up in the air by Kabiru Gafar, landed at Tag's foot, and Tag put it in the back of the net. 1-1 draw. It was a 1-0 win on our home turf against Westchester. Now, you've seen that team twice, and there's some teams like Madison and Richmond that you haven't seen yet this season. Like, I feel like it's weird that you're done with Westchester now, but maybe it's good we're done with Westchester because those are low-scoring affairs. Talk about those two games and how they adjusted to your style of play, and maybe adjustments that you guys made playing them the second time this quickly.
Yeah, obviously Westchester was a tough rival. We beat them 1-0 at home, which was like a tough game for us. We had to run a lot, defend a lot. We scored luckily in the first half, but I think after that it was still tough. They were not giving up. They were pressing. They were running. They were attacking and everything. So it was definitely a tough game for us. And same now away at their place. They were sitting back and they were trying to play on the counter. And it's kind of difficult to break through like teams that just sit low and just wait for you to do a mistake and run with the ball forwards to your goal and catch your team open.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they got us first. They scored, and it was tough. We tried. First half for us I don't think it was our greatest first half so far this season. But after the second half, we came in. We had the mentality that we gotta get at least 1 point out of here. We cannot go home without any point. And I think after fighting a lot, we got at least 1 point. And I think. In this week, it's just two teams that got points from away games, and one of those teams was us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that says a lot. Coaches always remind us that not many teams in this league win away, and that's just something that says a lot about how your team fights until the end.
Yeah.
They outshot us 15-9, but I feel like that isn't the storyline of the game. Talk a bit more about that quick counter, because we, again, are clearly a possession-oriented build from the back. Everybody's moving as a unit approach to the match. They were very quick to counter in an effort to catch us off guard or catch us open, as you say. What's got to change on the field in those scenarios? How quickly are you guys adjusting to teams coming at you that way?
Yeah, I think it's just like having more confidence on everything we do. Like every pass we give, we just gotta be confident and thinking that we're gonna make a good pass and not messing up. So, and then obviously it's just like helping each other. It's the connection that I mentioned before. It's just trying to get better at those connections. And for example, if I make a mistake, is my center back gonna cover my back, and is my midfielder coming to help me? Is my winger coming to help me, and stuff like that. But I would say mostly it's just confidence, just trying to get better yourself and then as a team as well.
Yeah. I think Shipman too, he counted that ball wide. That bike was fine. Nothing spectacular, but I think Shipman thought it was wide. His body language showed that he thought it was wide, and he even pulls his hands back like, "Oh, I didn't touch it. It went." And then he saw that it hit the inside of the post and just stood there sort of stunned. And I think again, that's sort of the storyline. You didn't play a 15-9 shot on goal or shots taken match. But that quick counter and those moments of stun can result in that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sean, I want to ask you a question here because something that has been Michael has said a couple times is just having confidence in yourself, confidence in your teammate, and being able to take risks. Right. That's one thing that I've seen as my kids have played through the years. Right, coaches that allow them and encourage them to take risks versus coaches that have a style that says, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do it. And then kids sometimes get afraid to take risks, right? You coach at some of the youngest ages, at least amongst our group here at Fort Wayne Footy. And I've heard you talk about this too, right? Giving kids confidence with the ball. How do you instill something like that, the risk-taking confidence in yourself at even a young age that's going to develop into, someone like Michael Rempel on the field with Fort Wayne FC saying that's what it takes at this level too, is confidence in yourself and confidence in your teammates?
Yeah, I think it's always important to explain why we would play this way, or why we would play risky, and I'm watching the Westchester match and I'm seeing in the 85th minute that FWFC is still using Shipman in the build up with forwards who are pressing. And even though it's risky, one mistake and it's goal time and the game is dusted, that they're still believing in their philosophy and their identity, that this is what we do. This is how we're going to score goals. This is how we're going to, try to bait the opponent forward to unlock some spaces behind, especially with a Westchester team, Michael, that you talked about how they were sitting so deep that it was tough to kind of break their lines down and try to get through them or around them and over them. So I guess that's my question to Michael is, Michael, even in those late minute moments of the match, and we're hunting for a goal or we are maybe trying to get a winner, and we're still being disciplined and using our buildup in our goalkeeper. Is that something the coaching staff emphasizes? Is that something that you guys as a unit are buying into and this is how we play and this is who we are?
Yeah, so coaches always remind us, they give us the game plan and we practice during the week, but at the moment at the game, it's us who decide what we do. But they give us the information, but we decide what we're gonna do with it. So either we play with that, what we practice the whole week, or we just invent and just I don't know what's gonna happen, right? But yeah, obviously we're trying to stick to our game plan, and taking risk is one of those. And what helps a lot, the question you asked, Brian, about for the kids and taking risks and stuff, a lot of it has to say as well, if you take a risk and it does not work out, how do your teammates react to it? If they're just screaming at you and everything, you're never going to take a risk again. You're going to be afraid of taking it. So instead, if they encourage you and say, okay, come on, next time, you're not going to be scared. You're going to go again and try again, take a risk, and maybe the next time it will happen. So
yeah. To Amanda's question earlier too, I was curious, I wanted to follow up on this, is your style of play, building out of the back, possession oriented, attack when it's open, when you see the seam, you can you break down the right side, break down the left side, you can put it over the top with a fast Lillian Recall running past a center back or a goalkeeper that falls, right? That those things happen, those mistakes happen, and Recall's definitely been the recipient of some mistakes there, but you guys definitely have a style of play. But we have seen those of us who watch Fort Wayne FC play week in and week out. We're invested in the game. We're invested in style of play. We've seen the adjustments that you guys have made, right? From the start of the season, the formation you played with 5 backs to a 4-back system, to when you play a team like Chattanooga that wants to sit back. You guys sat back and said, we're going to not attack like we did the first 3 games, and we're going to let you have the ball. It's neat to see, like, from our standpoint, a team that can make those adjustments and can play a different style each and every week. But how hard is that as a player to adjust? Coaches give you the game plan. They say, here's what we're going to do. We've scouted this team. Here's what we're going to do. How tough is it to adjust your style of play week in and week out? And how often is it actually happening versus we're just maybe perceiving it because you're playing a different team and so they're pressing differently?
Yeah, it's actually not happening very often, but yeah, it takes time to like adjust back to like a different formation or game of style. Because like obviously the excitement is there. You want to win, you want to go forward, you want to score. Everyone wants like the team to score and win. So the excitement is there to go forward. Sometimes you forget, okay, wait, actually I have to wait. I have to stay here in my position. I don't have to go up and stuff like that. So it sometimes, like, if you get used to one game style, then switching back to another one sometimes can take a little bit, but it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. We're getting close to 10 o'clock. I want to get you out of here on time. We do have one question in the chat that I want to get to, because it's a question that I asked you after one of the games as well on the field, is how many miles or kilometers have you been running? So this question is, you've logged a lot of minutes. Have you also logged the most miles on the field? And I'm going to add to this question, is the training stat keeper thing that you guys wear, is it accurate now?
Yeah, I think it's accurate, but I think the guys that do most of the running are the midfielders. So sometimes, like, I have compared some games with, for example, when JP was playing in the middle, or for example Javier, and they got like maybe 1,000 meters more than I do, but some games I have more. So it very depends on like where the action of the game is, where the opponent team attacks through. Like if they attack on my side, then obviously I have to run more. If they attack on the right side, then it's less running for me. So, but yeah, it's usually I would say approximately like 10,000 meters every game. So
okay. Man,
you're getting up the flank quite a bit, even more in the past few games. I mean, you are just constantly in the attack, but then all of a sudden you're right back where you should have been in the back line. So I have to imagine you're logging it like crazy.
or you're throwing the ball in on the right side, or you're taking a corner kick on the right side.
Yeah.
You're logging a lot of miles, my man.
Go watch the highlights from the Westchester game. You took the corner kick, and the announcers gave you the assist. I was like, did he teleport to the inside the 18?
There are games that it feels that way. He's all over the place.
My teammates were like,
Absolutely.
"Oh, Michael is everywhere," and I was like, "Yeah, that's not true."
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, I got one more. Don't let him go yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Best Latin American food in Fort Wayne. You can say none. It's okay.
Yeah, I have to think if I have tried some. I don't think I.
Salsa Grill?
Is that really?
El Amish?
I haven't been there. I'm not as
El
big
Amish
fan
is good.
as JP and Reed are. Those two, they go quite
They're all
often
over the
there.
place.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Go with
Alright.
them sometime and then report back.
yeah. I should do it actually.
Awesome. Well, hey, Michael, before we let you go, I know it's we got a minute till 10. We'll continue the conversation after you jump off, but we do want to let you know, based on everything that you put in and time on the field and your work rate on the field and what you put in at Westchester, that you once again have been named our Fort Wayne Footy Man of the Match for the Westchester SC game. Congratulations, man, and we'll get you your next token and your next card next time we see each other, which it's hopefully July 4th, before July 4th sometime. We'll connect. We'll get it to you. But, man, we really appreciate your time here on the show tonight. We appreciate you, just everything we get to see. You just lay your heart out and your body on the line for the team each and every week for Fort Wayne FC. So thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for being here in Fort Wayne and allowing us to get to watch you. And thanks for being a friend of the show, man.
Pick at you a bit.
Yeah, and pick at you a
Thank
little
you,
bit.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, and for the record too, we did debate not giving you man of the match because it might look a little kitschy because you're the guest for tonight, but we had to because you earned it. So
Okay.
you were
Thank you,
receiving
guys.
that, whether you were
Yeah.
sitting in that chair or not, just for the record.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. Thanks for joining us,
Congrats.
Michael. We'll
Yeah.
we'll talk soon.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
See you, Mike.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a few more minutes here on the show. Appreciate Michael taking some extra time with us tonight to share a little bit about the World Cup, share a little bit about team culture, and talk a little bit about the Westchester match. Always fun to talk to players, always fun to talk to guys like Michael who are as humble as he is, as Amanda pointed out earlier. But there are 2 games coming up this week. Right. Forward Madison, Wednesday night, June 17th. This game, I believe it's on the Golazo Network and ESPN2. It will be broadcast. We'll have to, this is where, Amanda, you fact check me. I think it's Golazo Network. It's going to be on. So national television. We'll get to see Fort Wayne FC play Forward Madison. And I'll just say this. You'll have to listen to the episode with Robert Chappell that I streamed right before this, talking about Forward Madison. But our teams are so similar this season. We're sitting in 8th place, a point above Forward Madison in 9th place. If the season ended today, we would be going to the playoffs, and they wouldn't be. If it ended on Wednesday night, who knows? Thankfully, it's a longer season. They are 5-4-1. We're 4-5-2. I think we played one more game. We're 1 point ahead of them. They're coming off a 5-1 victory over AC Boise on their home field in Madison, 5-1. And he talked a little bit about on the show, a little bit about why that is, when the goals came. But it was a fun victory for Madison. They are probably the 2nd or 3rd youngest team in the league. They overhauled their entire roster, minus 2 guys that are back this season, one coming back from injury. They're like 24 years old is their average age, and Fort Wayne FC is like 23.4, something like that. So it's a young squad. Rebuilding. Their supporter section is being rebuilt this season, even as ours is continuing to build. They just got new turf. We just got a new stadium, new turf. Like, there's a lot of similarities between these teams. And so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out on Wednesday night. So catch that episode of Crest and Colors. And then tomorrow night, I'll be recording, as I mentioned earlier, with Yogi from River City 93, covering the Richmond Kickers, who've been around the league a long time. And they are not doing as well as Madison. I think they have 1 win in their last 5 matches. And that win was 5 matches ago. I think they're a win, a loss, a draw, a loss, and a loss. So they're not coming in with, in good form as of now. But as you guys look at these 2 matches ahead of us this week, who are you most excited to see, whether it's Forward Madison or Richmond that we haven't seen yet? And do you have any predictions on how the games are going to go?
I feel like the Richmond game has the potential to be similar to Westchester in that they hadn't scored in 7 matches, I think it was. And scored first. They struck first. So I think sometimes, and as a coach, you have to prepare your squad for this. Sometimes you can go into a match thinking, hey, tonight we could probably work on this, this, and this, because we don't have to dial in or lock in on these certain things like we would against a different opponent. And so I'm anxious to see how the boys do in another match against a team that, at least on paper, maybe just isn't at the same quality or caliber that we are, and watch them just bury the ball time and time again. But to be able to have some fun in doing that, but then also step up to that next level against an opponent that is struggling versus I'm not claiming that we're playing down to the level of any teams, but it is tricky when mentally you do know that about a team that they've been in a slump. I want to see us hold our level of play true to who we are.
Yeah. Sean?
Yeah, well, it seems like the Forward Madison game is going to be, a dogfight. And so that should be pretty entertaining, from a fan's perspective. Hopefully similar styles. So you're looking at a good match and, something that's pleasing, I think, not just launching up the ball and running up and launching up the ball and running up, but really trying to make decisions, really trying to pull players out of positions. And so that always makes for a nice game. So I'm excited for that one. And then, both matches are away. I don't think any game in this league is going to be easy.
Right.
I think we are expecting them to do well against New York Cosmos early on when Cosmos wasn't playing very well. And then we didn't end up playing very well or our best game or just didn't finish our chances. Right. So, hopefully, I echo Amanda that we are able to bury some goals in there and get on the scoreboard and the score sheet early and often. But yeah, looking forward to the Forward Madison game for sure.
Yeah. And Richmond, I'm sure we'll talk more about it. Richmond's coach just departed today. In a buyout. He's headed to Sporting Cascades, who's supposed to be in the league this year. But they withdrew before schedules came out. They're entering USL League One next season. And so Richmond's under new management in the interim right now. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. Let's get into wrapping up this show. And I didn't get to show the video to Michael, so I'll make sure he sees it another time.
I was going to mention that, but I was like, no, I'll let it go.
I was going to. I got it up here. And so I'll show it. I'll make sure he gets to see it. But before we get to our final thoughts here, Christina joined us in the chat and reminded us that Bernd is on the brink of breaking another USL League One record. I think he's tied for third in most shutouts in the league. And if you remember, Bernd came from Madison to Fort Wayne, and so could move up the table into second place in most shutouts on his old home field against his old team. So that would be a fun one this week if that really happens. So let's wrap up the show with our final thoughts. And Amanda kicked us off with the cheersing she did. So Sean, I'll let you start us with the final thoughting.
I see what you did there, Brian. That was good.
Too far, Brian. Too far.
That was good. Okay. I have a lot of final thoughts. First, that sweet hat that you're rocking, Brian, looks awesome. I think I'm gonna have to order one.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'm just so appreciative of Michael taking his time out and hanging out with us this evening. I just feel like I would want to hang out with that dude all the time. So, just super excited of how well we're playing at this point in the season. Excited for these next step and these next challenges as we encroach like the halfway point and seeing where we are in the table. I was looking at the table today. I would wish that the league, we had a little bit more consistency on how many games each team has played. Like everyone's played 12 games. It's like some teams played 14 games. Some teams only played 9 games. And so it kind of makes it like hard to, assume a lot of things.
Union Omaha looks untouchable right now, but they played like 4 more games than everybody.
Exactly.
Well, that's why there's such a difference in the power rankings versus the actual table.
Yeah.
So
which power rankings, whatever,
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
But I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to more World Cup. I'm looking forward to the USA playing again on Friday and watching our own city pro team, play Wednesday and Saturday. It's going to be back-to-back games, quick games. I'm sure the coaching staff and boys are ready for it. So,
yeah, good thoughts there. Amanda, Final thoughting.
Yep. Composing. I
That is a word.
That is a word. Got one. I love the guys on this team, and I think it's so indicative. You guys behind the scenes, or you may think that behind the scenes, it's like pulling teeth to get these guys to come on here and be a special guest, or they're being paid to do it, or they have to do it, or whatever. They don't. They just say, "Hey, sure, I'll hop on. No big deal." They chat with us beforehand. They follow us on social media. Please go watch the fun little poking video that we made at Michael before the World Cup game. I have to wrap myself out. I am never on my phone when I'm coaching a match, but this thing goes off. And Brian posted that reel, and I had not seen Michael interact with it. And I was like, oh, I feel like we know him well enough that he's going to handle this really, really well. But he has not said anything. He has not sent a DM, nothing. And I was like, man, did we misjudge? Did we push that too far? And I'm literally coaching my 8 a.m. game the next morning, and my watch goes off, and I look down, and it says Michael Rempel, and I was like, oh, good. Like, he's engaged with it. And it was just this like quick little message of this is awesome or whatever. But just in case you guys were curious, the Fort Wayne FC guys are class acts. And they genuinely want to engage in this community, the Fort Wayne footy community, but then also just the Fort Wayne fan base at large. So I wanted to just dispel any thought of like these guys are being made to come on here or paid to come on here.
We don't have the money to pay them.
Yeah, I was going to say,
we're paying our bills because of our Patreon. We can barely
make those little coins.
No, we do have good support. We just don't pay for that, right? So
yeah, but it's just I want people to understand just how great they truly are. And it's fun to hang out with them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for that, y'all. Appreciate your final thoughts. I will, because I didn't mention it earlier and Sean did, the hat, we do have some new merch available in our store. We've got the little QR code up on the screen now. If you're watching, I know it's late and we've lost some viewers once Michael left, but hopefully you'll hear this later in the week. But we do have a QR code if you're watching live, if you're watching the stream ever, other times during the week. If you're listening, there's a link in our show notes to our merch store. Just visit fortwaynefooty.com. You'll see a link to the store there. We've got a special edition t-shirt. We call it the BT, the Fort Wayne Footy BT, that is available now. And I think I've adjusted it a little bit. He's not wearing the winter scarf anymore that you see on the screen now. He's wearing just a summer sporty soccer scarf, not a winter scarf, for the summer release of this. So that shirt is only available for order until this Friday, June the 19th, I believe it is. So if you're interested in that, picking that up, visit our store, check that out. We're testing out some new hats. Got this as a trial run. So if it's something you like and you want, we can see if we can have more of these made. It actually has a little bee head on the back of it here.
Sean, notice how he always gets the trials. It's just him. If it fits Brian, it fits the world, but don't worry about the rest of us.
Hey.
Notice I wear the same thing in every single episode.
Hey, it's available. I put my money towards it. If you want trials, we'll get you some. There's also another one that maybe I'll share another week. So I've got 2 new hats, guys. Yeah. Just wait for the next one. All right. Anyway, thanks for joining us tonight on Fort Wayne Footy. We're excited that you get to join us and listen to us and hear us talk. And thanks for just giving us your time and your ears and your eyes for a couple minutes each and every week. Enjoy the World Cup. Enjoy Fort Wayne FC's match against Madison on national television this Wednesday night. And we'll talk to you next Monday.